right? Because let's give an example and say, hey, there just was not enough savings. Okay, cool. So with regards to the savings, how much savings did you need? Right? Oh, I needed at least $200 in savings. Ah, I see. And we're only able to save you how much? You're only able to help me save 100, right? So now what we're selling is not 200, it's the $100 difference. Make sense?
Yeah.
But you're positioning yourself where the other agent probably did not because they didn't have the insight that you and I have. And so they're under the impression that they're just notating the reasons why they're pulling out, but you're actually extracting the reasons on how to keep them.
Connected to Sales Remastered.
So that was a reassign from Daniel Flores
Okay.
to save. Like, hey, give it to the save team person. So I got that probably about 8 or 9 days ago.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
So it's he basically asked you to say, hey, do you mind giving a second call and trying to save it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
What was your strategy?
So I did call it. Just say, hey, you know what? Your file came across my desk. You know, it's actually in line for cancellation. It looks like there's a lot of benefit. So give me a call back. I just want to make sure if there's anything that we can, do that we didn't do correctly. That's why I'm giving you a call. So call me as soon as you can, right?
Okay.
So I left that one, and then there was no text capability. I left an email, same thing. Hey, cancellation. Give me a call back, as soon as you can. And then it kind of goes for 2 or 3 days. I followed up again. So I got the son on the phone. So the story with this one is the lady's 90 years old. She's on the application. Her husband just died. Everything's in disarray. The son's jumping in to help. He's a little flaky too, but he's been like, hey, be patient with me. We still want to move forward. They went to get documents like from the bank as far as like bank statement. She didn't know who her insurance provider is, so that was last Wednesday. So we've been keeping in contact through text, but just like, hey, how
So from the strategy, because you may get more, right? You may get more of like, hey, we need this one saved. Can you jump in?
Yeah.
And when that first started, I was the original retention agent, right? Like that, because I was on Ray's team. And so Ray, it was me, Nadia, and Monet. And so I remember Ray used to send them over to me, and we had no real coaching of how to get into it, right? It's just ideally you need to save it.
Yeah.
And so we tried all these different methods, and really what it came down to was this, is that when again, it's kind of like looking at it from a third person point of view, also looking at it from their point of view too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever you leave a voicemail or an email, it should never be in the line of like, hey, there's a lot of benefit here, because they can sense that you're just trying to resell them.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So they're going to say, no, I already told this person that I don't want it. You're still trying to talk me into benefit. So instead, and it may sound very off the wall, you might be like, how does that work? You actually, if you have to leave a voice message, meaning you don't connect with them, or you have to leave an email or a text, the opening should be, hey, my name is Daniel. I've been assigned to help you withdraw your loan file. In order to do so, I need to confirm with you a few things. Can I call you? What time can I call you? I need to properly withdraw your loan file, otherwise it's still in process.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And genuinely, it's true, right? Because it's still technically in process until we make note that there's just no file.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So we could properly withdraw. So just in case you're looking at it as like, but D, that's not true, right? In essence, it is in process, right? So we're not trying to sway them. We're actually really trying to assist them. But ultimately, from their perspective, they feel like, okay, cool. So I just need to talk to this person just to get it off without the to-do list, right? Otherwise, they're going to keep calling me. And so the message sounds like that and says, you know what, because I have to help you withdraw this as soon as possible, if I don't hear from you, in a couple hours, I'll try to give you a call back, right? And I'll continue to do so I can help pull your loan file out of line.
Okay.
And so they're going to reply back to either one, right? Say, yes, I got your message. Please confirm. Okay, great. I just need to confirm, can I give you a call? Just take 2 minutes. I need to demonstrate the reasons why we're actually letting go of the loan. And then they may try to reply back and give you a response and say, oh, I already told, Derek or John, the reason why I'm not going forward is because blah, 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 blah. But ultimately, you found the reason as to why, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's email, text, or verbally. And so let's look at it from a different point of view, where is if you connect with them, it's the same message, right? Because how do you open that up? It just seems like they just sent it to a closer, mm-hmm. right? Like, man, I already told you guys to stop calling me. I'm done. I don't want to go forward. And so everything is always agreeing, right? And so just get used to that, because it'll help you with even non-save files, just general. right? Oh yeah, no worries, right? Because they're going to try to interrupt you. I already talked to them. I already said no, I don't want to do it. Yeah, no worries. That's actually why I'm calling you, right? I'm always agreeing.
Okay.
Say that's actually the reason why I'm calling you. I'm going to help you remove your loan file out of the process so you don't have to hear from us. Hey, while I got you on the phone, let me just go and do that real quick, right? So now I've already addressed all their questions. I'm helping them. It's going to be real quick, and I just need to confirm, right? So now I've discarded them, dismantled their guard. And so when I'm writing the notes, I'm saying basically like, hey, it looks like the notes that was left from the previous loan officer is that there were a few questions, but none were answered, and I can't leave it unopened like this, right? I have to properly notate the file. So can I confirm what was the reason why you passed on the savings? And then they're going to tell you, oh yeah, me and my wife, we just didn't like the rate, or we felt pressured. Whatever it is, you want to almost write it verbatim, right? Because let's give an example and say, hey, there just was not enough savings. Okay, cool. So with regards to the savings, how much savings did you need? Right? Oh, I needed at least $200 in savings. Ah, I see. And we're only able to save you how much? You're only able to help me save $100. Right? So now what we're selling is not $200, it's the $100 difference. Make sense?
Yeah.
But you're positioning yourself where the other agent probably did not, because they didn't have the insight that you and I have. And so they're under the impression that they're just notating the reasons why they're pulling out, but you're actually extracting the reasons on how to keep them. And so when you find out, like, well, the reason why we passed up on it is blah, 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 and say, okay, you know what, I'm looking at the note and the log, and I noticed that this particular option was never actually presented to you, and it can actually help you achieve this. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to notify the other loan officer. I don't want them to call you. I'm going to bring it straight to my manager, and I'm going to see if we can at least, fulfill what you were looking for the time that you spent. We already pulled your credit. Right, so you got nothing to lose. Let me go and send him over a message. Let me see what his thoughts are, and then if I can deliver that, I'll go ahead and notify you. But here's the thing: he's going to want a full file, though, right? So did you get a list of the documents that you needed? Okay, cool. How fast can you get that to me if I can deliver what you want? Right? Because they have no no's about that. Like, how could they decline that? They wanted it. Well, now we got it, right?
Yeah.
And then they might come off and say, well, I just didn't like the way he pressured me. Say, no worries. You're not going to ever have to talk to him. If anything, I'm just really more doing this for customer service, and I see it all the time. There's sometimes it's just not actually revealed, but if there's an option, we have it because we're a direct servicer, and then you go back into selling NAF. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So I think that, because what happens, and the reason why I think Lila didn't call back, besides her age, right? Because you have a copy of the file, so you're looking at a few different things before you even try to engage with them, right? You're looking at their job title. You're looking at their age, right? The reasons why they need it, meaning like look at their credit report. Do they got any small credit cards that could be relieved through the payment deferral, right? Because sometimes that can make up that $100 extra savings, right? Say, hey, I'm not sure if you knew this, you're getting like $7,000 with the deferral plus the refund. That can actually wipe out these credit cards, which thus will give you more than $200 in savings. It's actually going to give you $300. Does that make sense? So sometimes they don't see that, but with us, we have an opportunity to kind of reiterate that.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
But looking back and saying, what could I have changed? And said, the only thing is looking at it and saying, okay, well, this lady's 90, right? The likelihood of her probably missing the call or just not getting back to me is high because they don't want to get pressured, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit of a softer approach, but also identify and say, if you got a hold of the son and saying, hey, I'm just really trying to help your mom. Right? Like, I don't want to waste your mom's time. It looks like she needs help, and she has no one else to rely on but you. So I'm going to help you help her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now it's more emotional. It's like, hey, that's your mom, right? Like, I definitely wouldn't let my mom waste her time if I had any say in it, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Does that make sense? Now it's like, okay, I got to do this for my mom. So you're just fucking with them.
Yeah.
Not fucking with them, but
I got you.
you're playing to their emotions. Make sense?
Yeah.